So what's important to take into account when you're designing a mechanism to address dispossession of land is to determine what's the objective that you want to achieve with this mechanism. And also when you design this mechanism, you have to consult with the population to make sure you have a good understanding of what they want. Otherwise, the risk is that you will come up with a mechanism that does not really address their needs. The example of Bosnia shows that the land restitution mechanism was done with the intention in mind to promote return, and for the best intentions. The idea of return was to reverse the effect of ethnic cleansing that had taken place during the conflict. So land restitution would allow people to return and then undo the effects of displacement and of the war. Unfortunately, what happened is that for various reasons, people being traumatized by what happened, lack of prosecutions from the perpetrators in the place of origin, many people were reluctant to return. So they applied for repossession, but they were not sure they wanted to return. And then afterwards, even though 93% of the claims were addressed, and mostly positively, not many people returned. So maybe the lessons learned from that is that when you design a mechanism, maybe it's important from the start to provide not only land restitution, but also the option of compensation. For those who know already that they don't want to return, maybe because they've lived for 20 years in displacement, they've restarted a life elsewhere and they don't want to restart it again. This is particularly important to take into account in cases of protracted displacement and for people who live in urban context. They've now maybe acquired the skills to work in urban areas and they've lost the skills to work in rural areas. So by offering different options from the start, you gain a lot of time by finding a solution faster. Otherwise, what happened in the case of Bosnia, people repossessed, some tried to return, then realized it wasn't working and they sold, and some sold immediately. But they had to wait and go through a very long process to obtain restitution.